Hello and welcome to my stream. This is my first stream ever. I am a brand new game developer, or, aspiring game developer. So I am excited to be doing this. I'm really looking forward to this. I've been wanting to do game development forever, and this is my first time truly trying to get into it and give it a go. Now, I have done game development before in tutorials and like going through a Unity um, tutorial using that editor. Uh, that was really fun, but I never actually like made something unique. I was just making, games along with the tutorial, and so I kind of stopped doing that for about a year or two. Now, recently, a few of my friends have essentially asked, do we want to make a game? Do we actually want to try and do something? And I hit that. I was just like, yes, yes, I would love to do this. So, welcome. This is my attempt at getting into it, seeing if we can make something. Um, yeah, I'll just get straight into it. Now, the tools that we're using is Godot. The reason that we're using this is, there are three main engines. There is Unity, Unreal, and Godot. That they're like the big three options that we're considering. Unity, very good engine. I love it so much, but it does have a bit of a bad reputation at the moment. It's also not free. It's not open source. It's not free once you start kind of getting into commercial stuff. So that is something to consider essentially when trying to decide. Same with Unreal Engine. It's a private company, so they expect royalties once you start earning income, which we're not really expecting to do yet, if ever, with this. But just in case, Um, and then the third option was Godot, which is a free and open source tool. And the other reason that we decided to choose it is because looking at the documentation, the learning curve is so nice. It's got tailored experiences for 2D and 3D, especially 2D, which is like Unreal, you kind of need an add on to be able to work with it. Unity works well with 2D. But Godot has, it's got a specific kind of workflow for 2D, and the documentation online is slick. I love it so much. I've been looking around and I've gone through a couple of the tutorials just to like kind of get my feet wet, and it is a nice tool. I will definitely say that for it. So to start off with, we're giving it a go in creating our first game. The concept is following the Odyssey journey. The reason that we got into this is because of Epic the Musical. Jorge, if you ever look back at, or like if you ever find this, man, you have made an amazing like piece of work. Like that art, that song, those songs are so cool. I've been listening to them non-stop for like the past 2 weeks, ever since my siblings managed to like get me into it. So Epic the Musical, highly recommend. It's on Spotify. Go check it out. It's an awesome it's a story, basically an audio book in song format. It is so cool. And so we're actually going to be trying to follow along with the storyline of that. We're not going with Homer's version of the Odyssey yet. Maybe we'll change to do that eventually, but Epic the Musical, I think it'll be just really cool to like try and build on that. So that's what we're going to be going to go for. Now I have a basic game plan up. You can see that I've kind of got a few something up here. If I just kind of select into it and build it, you can see that what I've got so far is essentially just like a little bit of character movement, nothing too fancy, just starting out. The game plan that we've got for today, this is just something I kind of whipped up about an hour ago. You know, basic idea. I want to see if I can create a top-down hack and slash with multiple party members. Now, this is going to be kind of the key difference between this and most other ones, like say Brotato. for example, is kind of like it's an auto shooter, but similar style from what I'm envisioning, where the player can command tactically with a godlike view. So you can kind of think like, you know, Age of Empires type thing. You can command your troops, or you can jump into a character and fight on the battlefield. So think maybe something like uh, there is a series, Mount and Blade. Bannerlord is one that I've been playing recently, or that I have played, and that is like really cool because it's like, it's a first person 3D game. You're fighting on the front lines, but at the same time you can tactically command your troops. It's really cool. Just trying to pull it back into 2D, kind of a simplified format. Yeah, that's what we're going for. So each character kind of follows a particular archetype throughout the story, except Odysseus, who he's the main character. He's a warrior of the mind, meaning he can respec into any of the skill trees between battles. Also, one of the ideas that my wife came up with is, maybe there's a determination bar, because throughout the story he's going to be losing allies, but he will be getting stronger. So as the story progresses, Odysseus just constantly kind of loses troops from his ship, through his ships, and loses ships, loses his troops, loses his friends. So he'll be becoming more and more alone. So the tactical side is going to become less and less, but the hack and slash side, he's going to become stronger, and you're going to be finding a lot more single player, single character battles. That's kind of the idea that I've got so far going. Not entirely sure about this last part. Maybe I'll go with it, maybe I won't. The determination bar, as he loses allies, this is him kind of gaining power, is determination to get back home and see his wife and kids. But yeah, so this is kind of the beginning of what we're going for. Now, how I'm implementing this, essentially what I've done so far is just created a project, downloaded a sprite asset pack. The place that we got it from is just Kenny. It's just a website essentially that has a whole lot of free assets, and it's so cool. The background here I've got here, so that's what my sprite is. The background is actually from Forgotten Adventures. It's just a D&D, D&D map, battle map that I've kind of, it's just a background for now. It definitely doesn't fit the art style. Um, but yeah, and so I've created. So Godot works around things called scenes, and so I've got two scenes here. I've got Odysseus himself. So if I scroll in on him and I press F6, then I can kind of see Odysseus here. You can't really see it, but he's moving around. He is flipping back and forth as I change directions, but that's about it. The second scene that I've made is literally just chucking the battle map on, so in this way I can put Odysseus in and he's actually moving around. So that's all I've got so far. The movement script is pretty simple so far. So Odysseus is made up of a sprite 2D, and he's made up of a camera, because I want to be able to follow him around on the battlefield. I'm going to start with the hack and slash side, and then eventually I'm going to hopefully pull back into the tactical side. To work with this hack and slash, Odysseus has a script. It's literally, the ready function. Don't need to initialize anything just yet. Process for each tick. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm just initializing a direction based on the controls, WSAD, assigning that direction, and then flipping the sprite if I need to, and then updating his position each frame. And yeah, that's all I've got so far. But yeah, I'm pretty proud. I'm pretty proud that this is actually kind of what I've managed to do even just today. So I'm kind of looking forward to this journey, and I hope that you guys will be too. So thank you, and catch you later.